Hi everyone, it's Jules and welcome to Jules Reads. I am Jules and this is going to be my weekly reading recap. Today is Saturday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. And in these videos I like to talk about books I finished, books I'm currently reading, what I want to read, any sort of books I might have hauled this week, and any sort of plans that we did, personal plans, anything coming up this next week, and then any sort of movies or TV that I watched. So I do have quite a bit to talk about. I did only finish one book though. I haven't done one of these in a couple weeks because of my mom passing. So it's been 2 weeks since she passed, but I am starting to get back into reading more and that is good. I do have a vlog coming up. I'll either release it tomorrow or maybe Monday, I think. And I have a vlog, so that'll be good. So the first book that I finished, the only book I finished, was Mark Twain. Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I had never read this before. I really wanted to read this so that I could read James by Percival Everett. I really enjoyed this. I really liked it a lot. I talked to my husband about it and I did not know that it was like his third favorite book. So, or second. His first is Grapes of Wrath. And so this is about Huckleberry Finn. You're in his mind, so it's narrated by him. He's a kid growing up in the mid-1800s, and this was written after the Civil War, but this takes place, is it prior? Hold on. I'm not sure what year it was, but it is during slavery and before it was abolished. So this is about Huck Finn and his journey with Jim, his friend Jim, that he gets to know and become friends with. And Jim is an enslaved person who ran away. And so it's about them trying to escape and a little bit of an adventure that they go on down the river on a raft. And it's about the people they encounter and just the experience of them trying to get Jim free, and a lot of other stuff happens. But I want to read you a quick little thing my husband had shared with me. It's called Lit Charts. It looks like this. And he had shared with me, it's kind of like Cliff's Notes, but you just print them off or read them digitally. But I just wanted to read this part about Mark Twain because I think sometimes there's a misconception about Mark Twain or this book. The book does use the N-word quite a bit, which my husband explained to me the reasons why, and it made more sense after that, but I cannot retell you what he said. He's much better spoken than I am. So Mark Twain, abolitionist and advocate for emancipation, seems to be critiquing the racial segregation and oppression of his day by exploring the theme of slavery in Huckleberry Finn. Also significant to the novel is the Second Great Awakening, a religious revival that occurred in the United States from the late 18th to the middle of the 19th century. Twain was critical of religious revivalism on the grounds that Christians didn't necessarily act morally and were so zealous as to be easily fooled, a critique articulated in Huckleberry Finn. I just thought that well explained part of Mark Twain's goals with this book, and this book was way funnier than I was expecting. There's some lines that I laughed out loud while I was walking. I did do most of this on audio. A couple times I did hybrid where I was listening and reading at the same time, but mostly I did it on audio, and it is narrated by Elijah Wood. He does a fantastic job, and there's a lot of satire in here and social commentary and humor. I really enjoyed this, and now I look forward to reading James by Percival Everett. So James, if you don't know, is about Jim, Huckleberry's friend. So it is told from his perspective. So that will be fun to read that. The book I'm currently reading, I'm a little over halfway through, is Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. And I'm doing this while I'm also watching the TV show. I'll read some and then I'll watch the TV show. So I'm getting a perspective of the differences are between the TV show and the book. The book is amazing. I love it. She is becoming a favorite author of mine, and the TV show is really good as well, but there's some major differences. But I'm curious to see if they just plopped everything into episode 1 and it will come much later in the book. So, because there's things in the first episode that have not yet happened in the book. So I'm curious if that's even a part of the book or if they added that for dramatic effect. The other book I started on audio, is Outlander. And I have watched quite a bit of the TV show. I'm not completely hooked on it, but I love Scotland. And I've always wanted to read this. This is a big chunky book. And I am doing this on audio. It is my next audiobook that I'm doing after Huckleberry Finn. So I'm really liking it. I'm only maybe an hour into it or so, but it's like a 30-hour book. I'm really enjoying this. For what I want to read, we could kind of call this a May TBR. One of them is, and I just downloaded it on audio. It's only 46 minutes. It's called Quitters Inc. I heard about this. I cannot remember all their names, but they were doing a live stream and they talked about that book. It's by Stephen King. It's in The Night Shift short story collection. So Quitters Inc. is a short story. The narration is read by Eric Roberts from, the 80s. So that's fun, but it's a quick little read that I'm not reading the whole book. I'm just reading the Quitters Inc. short story. And I have 4 more that I have on my little stack here that I want to get to. One of them, probably most important, is my In Real Life book club book, and that is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. She is a local author here in Minnesota, and I've never read from her before. I think because she's more of the romance writer, and I don't typically enjoy romance, but I am going to give it a shot. I heard it's excellent. The other 3 books I have in my stack is 84 Charing Cross Road. I recently picked this up, and I'm excited to read it. It is letters back and forth between a bookseller and an American writer. The other one I want to read soon is I Who Have Never Known Men. I think this was originally French, and this is translated to English by, I don't have my glasses on, and I heard this is amazing. This was written quite a while ago, and it's now recently getting more buzz. I want to say it was written in the 90s, but it is getting a lot of buzz lately, and everybody I've seen that has read this has absolutely loved it. And for a lot of people, it's becoming an all-time favorite for them. So I'm excited to read that. The other one I hear about a lot more so on the Facebook kind of things that I'll see about books that I follow, and it's The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell. This is Robert Dugani, and I believe this book was first self-published, and now it has traditional publishing. And I have no idea what it's about, but people are saying it's an all-time favorite of theirs as well. So these are the books I want to read soon-ish. Let's talk about some books I bought recently. I haven't bought any books in the past couple weeks since my mom passed, but these are some books I picked up maybe that week prior that I don't think I've shown on the channel yet. So there's 5 of them. 4 of them are in a series, so I'll show the first one, Where the Red Fern Grows. This is another book I've never read before. I think a lot of people have to read this in school. Maybe I was supposed to read it and didn't. I'm not sure. Kind of like The Outsiders. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to read it. I don't think I did. I probably watched the movie. But this is Where the Red Fern Grows. I don't know a lot about it. It looks like it's about a boy and his dogs. So I'm excited to read that. The other one is a book that I've heard a few people talk about it, not very many. And I believe it was first published maybe in Italian. And there is a TV show that also goes with it, and it is 4 books, and it's the My Brilliant Friend series. If you know about this book and you know the American cover, I think they actually did that as kind of like a joke. It's so bad. I didn't want to buy it forever because of that cover. And then I looked on Blackwell's and they had this cover, so they all kind of match. And they had this cover, and then all of a sudden they didn't. I'm like, I waited too long, now they don't have this cover. I did find this on Amazon. I found the whole set. You couldn't just buy one, you had to buy all 4. So hopefully I like it. But I'm glad I got this cover and not that ugly other cover. It looks like a really bad Photoshop job. I don't know a lot about this. I know it's about friends growing up in Italy, I believe. So I got that series and I'm excited to read those and watch the TV show as well. I did start to watch the TV show and I'm like, ooh, I'm liking this, so I better read the book. So for plans that we did this week, I'm kind of back to work as far as working in the office. I'm mostly working from home, also working in the office. I have my 92-year-old dad living with us now, so some of my day is spending, helping him because he can not do a lot for himself. But really, we played trivia. On the first half, we did super well. We were in first place out of 9 teams. Going in the second half, we went down. Second half was so bad, but we had a great time. I also played pickleball again yesterday after work, which was fun. And hadn't played, well, we actually played in February. I mentioned this in my vlog too, but we played in February here in Minnesota because we had a day where it was 70 degrees. But I had a great time. I love pickleball and it's a great workout. But we did that. So for plans, actually today is Saturday. Normally I was filming these on Sundays. I'm not sure if I'm going to do them on Saturdays or Sundays. It doesn't really matter. But since I wanted to post my vlog probably tomorrow, I thought maybe I'd do this one today. And we are going to go out to dinner tonight. I will probably show that in my vlog. And we're taking our boys out for their birthday dinners, and we're going to the Polish restaurant in Minneapolis. And I cannot pronounce the name ever, so I will just not pronounce it. You'll see it in my vlog. So I'm looking forward to that. And other than that, I have a work happy hour. I'm getting my hair finally done. My roots are pretty gray right now, so I'll be getting my highlights done. Also, I'm in another new space. So my office is now here. Let's see if I can show you my books. I don't know how to get so I'm down here. Is that a bad angle? I don't know. But I bet my husband's office was in this room. It was not, the walls weren't pink. I just painted that recently. And we had to move him out when my parents moved in. So he moved into the office I was in. I moved into the living room. My parents moved into this room. This was more like their den. And then once my mother passed, we turned this into my office because my husband didn't want to move his office again. So now this is my office. And I'm in the basement and there's like lots of birds and stuff. You can't really see because it's blown out, but I get to look at birds and the lighting is okay. It's not too harsh because it's on that's the north window. So anyway, I'm in another new space. I think in my short time on YouTube here on this channel for BookTube, I have had 3 office spaces. It's okay. All right, let me know what you're reading if you finished anything great recently. I would love to know, and I hope you guys have a great week.